I'm grateful to have known Tom Stock since I arrived in Richmond in September of 2012. Through our association in scouting, we both became involved in Troop 1893 here at St. Edward the Confessor Church with our sons. I cannot distinctly recall everything about the first time I met Tom, but I remember that I had some very serious concerns. I'm pretty sure he was wearing a Boston Red Sox baseball cap, and that infuriated me because I'm a lifelong Yankee fan, so I was very suspicious of Tom from the first time I ever met him, but I grew to love him. Of course, Tom had other redeeming qualities which more than compensated for his bad choice of sports teams. Tom exhibited an insatiable thirst to understand how things worked. When faced with something new and interesting, his eyes lit up. He was amazed at discovering. Since those first memories, so many of us grew to know Tom much better. Weekly scout meetings and regular service projects like pancake breakfasts and fish fries here at the church became the norm. Our storied weekend camping trips on the Appalachian Mountains and locations like Rip Rap Hollow, High Top, Ramsey's Draft, Mount Pleasance, Three Ridges, and our beloved Henry's Farm were shared experiences that bonded us all together. By our count, Tom spent almost 100 nights out camping with us. But so many moments stand out. There was one time we were camping and Tom had driven his truck and he was trying to back the truck out of a tight spot and he ended up snapping the side view mirror off of the truck because he hit a tree. And most of us would have gotten out of the truck, slammed the door, said a few choice words, and really been annoyed. And Tom gets out of his truck, looks at the tree, and says, well, I guess I got to fix that. I mean, he was unshakable in the way adversity would happen to him. He just rolled with it. Tom helped lead our summer camp program several times, taking a week's vacation to go hang out in the woods in a musty canvas tent at Camp Shenandoah or Camp T. Brady Saunders. Summer camps demand a lot of effort, and Tom helped many scouts with his legendary patience.
Tom was always there for my sons. So both my boys were very shy at the beginning of scouting, and Tom really stepped up and with helping them basically become, more outgoing. So looking at their journey from the beginning to where they are now, they've, both taken on leadership roles, and I think a lot of that has to do with the impact that Tom had within their lives and guiding them.
One of our more exciting scouting activities include our high adventure treks, opportunities to travel to distant locations for robust and challenging experiences. Tom loved these challenges. He completed 3 high adventure treks in 3 years and earned the Triple Crown with his son Patrick. Scouting is not just about camping and adventures, of course. Scouting is about character, citizenship, and physical fitness. All scouts adhere to the 12 points of the Scout Law. A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. From my perspective and witness, Tom was all of these things. At all times, and in every circumstance. Tom seemed to effortlessly embody the tenets of scouting. His example was constant. In the days since he's passed, one need only to read the comments that so many people have made about the indelible impact Tom has had on their lives. His willingness to help anyone was the stuff of legend. He was always the first to volunteer for tough or unpopular jobs. He often hiked in the back of the pack, helping cheer on the slowest and least enthusiastic scouts up the mountain trail.
Like I said, we really appreciate everything that Tom has done in our boys' life and just was a tremendous role model for them.
Just always having a positive attitude, like always smiling, even when like times are going hard, you're just there like just having fun.
And while many people are committed to one group, Tom volunteered in many places. He helped the marching bands at Manchester and Clover Hill High School. His work colleagues talk about how generous he was with time and patience. Old neighbors remember his thoughtfulness and kindness. For all the accolades and praises that we can heap on Tom, I'm sure he was not perfect. He did root for the Red Sox, remember. In 2015, our troop needed to appoint a new scoutmaster. Naturally, I thought Tom was an ideal candidate, and I threw my vocal support to him. He disagreed, claiming that he was not very good at public speaking and instead thought I should become scoutmaster. For a guy who always volunteered, took every job, and batted cleanup, he sure was quick to pass the buck on this one. I ended up becoming scoutmaster, and Tom was always there. Anything I needed, with no hesitation. As I read off the points of the Scout Law a few minutes ago, we can all remember times when Tom was the personification of these traits. Each of us has our own outstanding memories of Tom's stories, and the stories could fill volumes. But in these recent days, one story has stood out for me as reflecting, without question, Tom's unrelenting positive attitude. During our Northern Tier trek in the summer of 2018, we were canoeing through epic lakes and wild backcountry rivers. There were obstacles that were unsafe to float through or over, like boulder-laden rapids and 20-foot waterfalls. Voyagers on these journeys must carry their gear in canoes around these in an exercise known to the French Canadians as portaging. Tom was carrying the canoe towards our re-entry point, trying to maintain his balance, stability, and pride. He approached the edge of the water to place the canoe back into the river. There he immediately sunk about 3 feet into the mud and almost disappeared under the canoe. Kevin Morley was right there and captured the moment in what has become an essentially perfect photo. Many of you have seen that photograph in the past week, and if you see that image, I encourage you to look closely a second time. What you see is Tom's bright smile and disposition. He immediately laughed and saw the humor in the situation. What you do not see is that we were so tired and worn down. We were hungry. We'd had several restless nights' sleep and surely had some short fuses, but not Tom. What you really see in that photo is Tom's true nature. During the struggle, Tom found joy. Despite the mess, he found happiness. Rather than curse the mud, Tom was cheerful. Tom was the guy that everybody wanted to be. Tom was happy all the time. He was easygoing. He was relaxed. He was calm. He was constantly cheerful, annoyingly cheerful. He always had this attitude of just being easygoing. There's just not a better word for it. He would be relaxed when everybody else was stressed. He would be happy when everybody else was grumbling. It was equally inspiring and annoying at the same time. How could somebody be so gosh darn happy in the face of struggle or adversity? Tom was just easy. Everything was easy. This is Tom's legacy to Troop 1893. This is what we will miss the most. To maintain his memory and champion his character, we have decided to create the Tom Stock Cheerful Scout Award to recognize those scouts who share in Tom's joyful and encouraging spirit. We will give this award to those who are reassuring and hopeful, those who help others when they are downtrodden, and who are quick to praise those who need support. We will give it to those scouts who reflect all the endearing qualities that were simply the best of Tom. Considering Tom's modest nature, I think he would have argued against creating this award. If he were here now, I would simply say, tough luck, Buttercup, you made me Scoutmaster, and rank has privileges, so deal with it. He'd be furious at me. Are you kidding? He'd be so angry at me. He would hate that we did this, which is why I love it. It was somewhat of a fun labor of love to know that we would have made Tom angry because he did not believe it should be named after him. He would have not wanted that kind of attention, I don't think. So it's kind of fun to do it, and he can't tell me no. Well, we give the award specifically to scouts who seem to share that same intimidable spirit, right? Somebody who just chooses to be happy in the face of adversity. Somebody who just seems to reflect those same kind of qualities. And so we look for scouts. They're young, so they may not always have that kind of attitude. Everybody has bad days. We're not looking for perfection. We look for people who emulate the same qualities that Tom did. And so when we see that, you want to acknowledge it. And so that's our litmus test, if you will. We just look for the little bright lights when they happen, and that's why we award it.
It was very exciting. We adore Tom, and he's been a great part of my son's journey, both my son's journey through Scouts, so it was really an honor for them to be able to receive that award. To me as a parent, it really represents my son's journey through Scouting and being able to live up to the ideals of Scouting, and part of that is being cheerful in all situations, even when you're met with challenges.
I was honestly surprised because when I got this award, I had just gotten back from Sea Base, and I was an adult at that time, and I didn't think that adults could get it. So it was surprising to me to find out that I had earned the award, and it was a great honor, and I was honored to receive it. It meant a lot to me because, like my mom mentioned, Tom was just such an amazing man. He was a huge part of my scouting journey. If I wouldn't have gotten the Eagle if it weren't for him. He really helped me get out of my shell, and it was just such a great honor.
It really helped me realize that I've truly changed as a person and done a complete 180 from who I used to be.
It's exciting when we give the award. It's exciting to see the scouts all sitting there wondering who could it be? Who could it be? Who could it be? There's an anticipation that comes with the Court of Honor now when we give the award, and sometimes you'll speak the name of the recipient, and they're just shocked. They're just amazed. They don't remember ever being happy or ever being cheerful or ever exhibiting that kind of quality. We caught them. We know they did it, but it's just kind of funny how sometimes they're almost in disbelief that, really, me? You think I should get this? So it's exciting to see that happen. Tom was one of those people who cross your path and make an indelible mark on your life. I point back to memories and experiences, and he is there. For my family and I, practically every memory of scouting includes Tom. From weekly meetings to high adventure camps and pancake breakfasts, he was an important part of our lives. Tom, you are already missed tremendously. You reached the summit of this life before we did, and we are sad to realize that we must continue on our journey without you. You reached the peak first, and now we must keep on keeping on. So get the campfire going and have some coffee ready when that fancy French press of yours when we get there. And know that we will And know that we will carry your spirit with us for the rest of our journey.